Art, 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 art,
Art, art, Kunst.
art.
Hello there. I made a video yesterday about suggesting that the opposite of devil is not angel. The opposite of devil is symbol. Diabolos in Latin, or diablo in Spanish. Dia means, like diameter, it means to go through and divide. And then balein means to throw, to divide and throw or cast. To me, the opposite of this is this. SYM, to make same, to throw together, to make the same. SYM, same, symbolos in Latin. And then I suggested that all art is essentially making symbols, and that all those symbols are doing the same thing. They're uniting opposites. I mentioned several symbols, and I mentioned Christ on the cross as probably the most recognizable, most significant symbol in art, at least Western culture and Western art for the last 2,000 years. But I wasn't crazy about how I defined it, so I'm going to try again. I'm going to do a little do-over, and this time specifically, I'm going to look at alpha and omega and how that symbol unites beginning and ending. So we're going to go to the beginning. In the beginning, the creation, the creation story, there are 4 trees. Tree comes from the Greek deru, which means truth, but it also means tree. It means tree and it means truth. Something that is solid, steadfast, rooted, immovable. Okay? Solid, immovable tree. And there are 4 trees and there are 4 truths. The first tree is the tree of life. This idea that the truth, that there is this life energy. There is this energy. It isn't really created. It isn't really, you can't destroy it. You can't create it. It simply exists. And it's the I am. It's the being. I'm a big Star Wars nerd, so I like to just think of it as the Force. The Force exists. That's the first truth in the story. The Force exists.
Thought it was a bunch of mumbo jumbo. A magical power holding together good and evil, the dark side and the light.
Kid, I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force.
Crazy thing is, it's true. All of it. It's all true.
Then we go to the second truth, the knowledge of the tree of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, dualism. So now we're in kind of a consciousness. Now we have an awareness now of dualism. I guess with the Force as well. There's the light side and the dark side to have knowledge of dualism, and it's also now we're conscious. We're not totally just eternal. It's not just totally non-temporal or metaphysical. Now there's a consciousness. The conscious mind thinks in pairs of opposites. I don't think the conscious mind can think unless it thinks in pairs of opposites, like a computer, like binary code, ones and zeros. You know, well, that's good. Well, what's good? What do you mean by good? Well, it's not bad. Well, what's bad? Well, it's not good. That's just how the conscious mind exists. So that's our second truth and our second tree. Then we go to the fig tree. The fig tree is symbolic of something physical, like a physical encasing or covering. And the spirit is covered by our physical body. That it's a truth that you accept, that you're, at least in the story. So I'm just looking at this as a story. I'm not trying to talk about religion at all in any way. I'm talking about a story and the symbolic significance of the story. So you accept the third truth, that you have a physical body. And the physical body is temporal. The physical body is born and the physical body dies. It grows and it decays. And but so we have a covering. You're a spirit, you know. You have a mortal coil. You have a physical body, but there's a spirit in there. And then the fourth tree, a thorn tree or a thorn bush, if you will, the thorn is symbolic. The thorn goes around the wall that encloses Paradisimo or Eden, the the walled garden, or the walled park, I think, is literally what paradisimo means. And that is symbolic of a gate, or a wall, or a threshold. Okay? Now, how does Alpha and Omega get united in the symbol of Christ on the cross? Is you invert it. Take it, flip it around. Now you have the crown of thorns, which is the gate. The gate is open now. And then you go to the fig tree, which is the physical body of the man. You know, the logos, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word became man, the Word made flesh. So the Word became a man and lived with us. So you have the physical body in the symbol. And then the next is good and evil, which would be there are two criminals that are crucified on either side. One repents and one doesn't. So there's the good and the evil, or the good and the bad convicts. And then the final, the crucifix itself is the tree of life, eternal life. So that's where we started, and that's where we go back to via that symbol that is one of the most recognizable, ubiquitous symbols in all of Western culture, and specifically in art, in the art of the last 2,000 years.